we are going to start with a presentation of ourselves and yourself as well. So, Irene, if you want.
My name is Irene. I'm 16 years old. I live in Tenerife, but I have been living in Ireland for 4 months, like him. I live with my parents and my sister, and I'm really excited about this experience. And yeah.
So my name is Moses, but it's Moises in Spanish. I went to Ireland, as she said. As well, I'm so excited with this experience, and I really want to go to that place, as I love to travel. So I think you could tell us something about it.
Okay. My name is Carmen. I'm 56 years old, so a little bit more older than the two of you together, perhaps. I'm married. I have a daughter, she's 14 years old now. And I've been was living in London for around 25 years of my life. So I went there to study English for a month or two, and I stayed there 25 years. Okay, it was in one go. Okay, yeah. And now I live in Tenerife, and I'm a happy person. What do you say? That's what matters, you know.
So we have 3 categories. The first one is basic and personal. They are questions about yourself and your personal life. Our second section is about economic self-development. The third one and the last one is qualification and skills.
Yeah. Was the beginning of your voyage and the stay in the UK complicated? Being way too far from home, relatives and close friends?
No, really, because I was really eager to go there. Okay, I really wanted to go. So obviously at the first 2-3 weeks, like, oh, I know a lot of English, and when I got there, I didn't even know how to ask for a carrot at the supermarket. You realize when you are there, you know nothing at the end of the day. But it was like, I did like it for the very first time, okay, the way of living, the people and everything, so it was dead easy for me. Obviously you always miss your family, that's important to say, but not that I feel like homesick or something like that.
Yeah.
So, no.
And what do you think about the weather? Do you think that affects yourself?
No, no, not at all. Obviously from November to February at 4 o'clock in the afternoon it's dark. That is the only part that for the first 2-3 months you get too used to that. But because the way you live there, it's like you get used to it very easy. Okay? So, not really. It didn't affect me, I don't know why. But you miss the sun.
Yeah, obviously. And the warmth.
Yeah.
Warmth. Do you think you have changed morally? I mean, maybe your way of thinking or your social skills before you went to the UK to when you returned to Spain?
So definitely yes.
Yeah. And
yes.
Could you explain to us?
Because you have, once you go outside your sort of comfort zone, okay, you have to have an open mind, okay, you have to be ready to learn things, okay. So obviously if you want to learn, then you can realize there is so much different people from you. You know that there are different ways of thinking, and there can be all right. I mean, it's not that one way of thinking is right and the other one is wrong. I mean, you have to accept
every opinion,
every opinion for every different.
And it's nice for yourself.
And of course, that's the way you can grow up, you know, as a person.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Positive.
Do you miss now the bonds you made with those you met during that period?
Not really, because I keep in touch with all my friends there. So, no.
So do you often go?
Obviously, I miss the country. I miss my friends. I miss a lot of things as well. Because we keep in touch and we are very close, still very close. And when I get, like, oh, I feel like going there, I just take 1 weekend, go there, and come back as a more happy person.
So, have you ever thought you would have ended up working in your own shop? Do you enjoy it?
Yes, I always wanted to work for myself. Okay, although I knew it would take me quite a long time to achieve that. Okay, it was always having in my mind, and of course I do enjoy it. Because the best thing you can do is work on what you really like. It's the best.
Yeah.
The best.
And how did you come up with this idea?
That's a long story. Because it had nothing to do with my profession, with my own the companies I've been working for all my professional period. But I always like cooking and doing pastry and things like that. So I always started doing some cookies and some cakes for the family, the friends, and then you start to realize that first of all that I do like it, and second that people like to eat them. And it's like, they do like what I'm making. So it's like I started from there, and it came to a point in my life where I had to decide whether to stay in one company or to say, well, I want to start.
I do it myself.
I do it myself, and I did it.
So now that you have such a successful and profitable business, which do you think that are the keys for opening and for having a successful and profitable business?
You have to have, this is my own opinion,
Yeah, of course.
obviously, okay, but I think you have to have, first of all, you have to have a goal. You have to have a goal, you have to know where you are, where you want to go, for at least the first 3 years. Otherwise you don't really know where you are going, okay? Then you have to keep your an open mind and always think that you can learn something else. The minute you think that you know everything, you're dead.
Okay.
Okay? You have to keep as well the costs down. Okay? Your overheads down. So your overheads down. You have to keep an eye on them because it's small businesses.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to do that. And obviously open something thinking, I want to reach every single person that lives in Tenerife or outside of Tenerife. You have to have what we call
Yeah, a market.
a market goal, and then you have to go for that piece of cake, let's call it. Okay? And then once you focus on there, and then you have to start working very hard. Don't think this is easy. The beginning is really hard, but you keep working and working and working, and I can assure you can get there. And trust yourself. Believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you are doing.
Thanks for the advice.
As students who would love to work abroad, which advice would you give us?
Open mind. Always. An open mind.
To
And
the
be
culture,
eager to learn.
people.
Always more eager to learn. Not to learn just to study, just to learn from society, from the people who is around you, from the place where you are, for the history of the place you are living in, because that will help you understand the society where you live in and where you think. So I think, in my opinion, at least it's what I'm trying to teach my daughter.
You have been both self-employed and employee. Which do you prefer and why? I think you prefer maybe yourself being self-employed.
I don't know, it's a bit tricky, this question. I'll tell you what, because it depends of the period of my life, okay? Until I was like 40 or so, 40, 42, I did enjoy working for companies. Obviously, obviously as well because I was working for a really big company, so obviously that gave me a lot of skills, okay? But then after that, then is when I really wanted to work for myself. So if I wanted to choose one of those two, I wouldn't say which one, because I think that both of you made what the person I am now, professional.
So I mean, what you are trying to say that both of them have somehow advantages and
Yes.
probably disadvantages as well. What advantages do you think you have being self-employed?
I'm not one boss.
Yeah. Okay.
I take my own decisions, and obviously I take my own risks as well. Okay,
And
that's something.
What do you think about being self-employed in a crisis period? Because some people argue that it includes threats when you are in a country is in a crisis period. Self-employed people are more likely to, to close the shops or to be.
Yeah, it's very true. Probably it depends.
So what do you think we could do to avoid to be without, not to lose, not to close?
Okay, you have to have always keeping in mind what I said before, which is you need to keep your costs down.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every profit that you get, you have to keep something. Okay?
Save.
You have to
Okay,
save something
save.
always and keep it there. Okay? Because that is what makes you stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger.
In a crisis
It's like
period,
when you are
also.
saving
For
at
instance.
home, okay, you're saving and saving and saving. So when you have a big problem or the market doesn't respond, work for a company, there is so many. If you think in a big company, it's different when you talk about big company and small company. What happens is that you work for big companies, so I don't really know.
Maybe for
It's
work.
not. But because you have so many different departments, okay, in a company, you can realize how big just one business can get, and how many things have to be done just to get one product out of the door, okay, if you have a sort of, idea. And if you are thinking about a small business, it's like taking a big company in little things, okay, and you have to put them together as well. It's probably not.
I don't catch it.
No?
What do
Okay.
you mean?
Tell me the question again.
Well,
Ask me the question again.
just for example, what advantages do you think you have being self-employed?
I'm my own boss.
Yeah. Okay.
I take my own decisions, and obviously I take my own risks as well. Okay.
And
That's something.
What do you think about being self-employed in a crisis period? Because some people argue that it includes threats when you are in a country is in a crisis period. Self-employed people are more likely to, to close the shops or to be.
Yeah. That's very true. What happens?
So what do you think we could do to avoid to be without, not to lose, not to close?
Okay, you have to have always keeping in mind what I said before, which is you need to keep your costs down.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every profit that you get, you have to keep something. Okay?
Save.
You have to
Okay,
save something
save.
always and keep it there. Okay? Because that is what makes you stronger and stronger and stronger.
In a crisis
It's like
period,
when you are
also.
saving
For
at
instance.
home, okay, you're saving and saving and saving. So when you have a big problem or the market doesn't respond to what
Okay.
you're doing, it gives you a little bit of, space to
Yeah.
move from what you are doing now to something similar. It gives you that little space
Well,
to do that. If
yeah.
you don't save, then obviously you don't have
You
that.
have to close that.
Yeah.
Could you see any difference between bigotry in the UK and in Spain, such as race discrimination, being an immigrant, sex or gender discrimination?
It's quite Okay. It's different now, nowadays, than 10 years ago, I have to say.
Yeah.
I can see a difference. Okay?
Better
One-
improve, did we improve?
No,
Not at all.
it's not improving. It's a pity.
Yeah,
It's not improving. The gaps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what I can see. Okay? But it doesn't
What
matter we're
countries?
talking about England,
in Spain it's the same.
Spain, Germany, or France. I mean, you can see that, which is
Everywhere.
terrible. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Okay? The gap is getting wider and wider.
What? Yeah, okay.
Now changing the topic, we have a few questions of qualification and skills. The first one is, did the skill and experience you got while you were in the UK help you in your current life?
Yeah, obviously. Indeed, for everything.
Just experience.
It's experience, it's what is the way you are. Okay?
So, could you announce which strength did you achieve during the crisis periods, like the last one, crisis?
What the skills?
Yeah, maybe not strength.
Survive.
Yeah, skills.
Try to survive.
Yeah. But did you learn something special? Like before, maybe you didn't save, but now you save.
You have to reinvent yourself. I mean, you have to
Of
think
course,
of
yeah.
doing. If you keep doing the same thing, you will not
You
get
won't
the
be
same
successful.
results.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you have to change the way you do things to get different results, and you have to test. And it's nothing for sure 100%. So you have to keep testing different things, and then one of those things will come good for you.
Did you acquire in the UK, any of the abilities you use today in your current job?
Yes, she told us before.
You can always use what you're learning in your normal life. You're using it every day in everything you do. I mean, you have to have the discipline. Not because you have your own business, you can open at the time you want. You can close at the time you want. You can order that. There's a lot of things that you can.
And obviously the English you learned helped you quite a lot here in Spain.
I have to say it does, because I have to say that probably 20% of my customers are British people. So it does help.
So I think this is an interesting question. How much does creativity matter in your job?
In my job,
Yeah.
80%.
80%.
And where do you get all the ideas to do the cakes?
Oh, my head. Yeah, you always start with a white paper and a pencil.
And you draw it first?
And of course, I do.
My
I
partner
draw,
loves to
you talk to
loves to draw.
you talk to the customer, you ask them. For example, you have it's a wedding cake. Okay, so you talk to the bride, you ask her what she likes, how her dress looks like, invitations, what flowers is she going to use, and then you compound, and then you draw and design. Okay, you do a sketch first, whichever is the case gonna be the first one. So at least you need to do three. Okay, so at the third is when you get the cake that she loves.
So an 80% is quite a lot. 80%.
It is.